Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time on this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and leave a comment. I'd like to hear what you think about today's video. To all my returning subscribers, thank you so very much. Thank you for always supporting this channel, even when I'm not consistent. Thank you for always watching my video. Your support means a lot to me, and I do not take it for granted, okay? All right, on today's video, a number of you have sent me DMs asking certain questions, and I've not been able to respond, so just forgive me. But today I'll be attempting to respond to some of the questions that I've gotten on my Instagram page. I have a testimony to share from one of our family members, but I'll share that at the end of the video, right? So there are two questions that I want to address today. There are actually three questions. I don't know if I'll be able to answer all of it, but I'll attempt to answer as much as I can, okay? All right, so the first question says, happy wedding anniversary in advance. My husband and I have been married for 5 years and we live abroad. A major challenge has been finances. He is the breadwinner of his family and none of them work. He often spends more than half of his salary helping relatives and friends in Nigeria, leaving us with little or nothing after bills. I suggested that we started a business for his family, but that didn't work out. We have no savings. We are already in debt because he sometimes borrows on credit card after spending all of his salary. He finds it hard to say no, even to people that he is not close to. We've discussed this many times. He agrees to change, but ends up doing the exact same thing. Lately, he has stopped telling me when he sends money, and I only notice when I check his phone. I stopped raising the issue because I'm tired of arguing. I'd like to manage this better without conflict. Please, can you help me to approach it? Thank you so much. Now, first of all, how do you think that she can, manage this situation? I'm sure she'd like to read your answer. So for me, right, first of all, if you're watching this, I'm sure you're watching this. Truly, I cannot empathize enough because I can understand when it comes to finances in marriage, it can be very, very stressful if, you're constantly in lack, not because you do not have, but because your partner is constantly giving out, right? That can be very, very annoying. I totally understand that. And one of the first things, I'm just going to go straight to it. One of the first things that I would say is that let me first tell you that your husband and me, we are very similar. And I'm not even going to lie, okay? Yes, I am that person that would borrow to give to somebody when I don't have. And I will tell you that was almost a problem in my marriage. I'm sure you guys have heard my husband say this all the time. And I even said it that my husband always tells me that I give without thinking. People can, and I know sometimes that people are lying. And you know what's so funny is that I know you are lying, but I will still go ahead and give, right? There are some people that are just like that. I don't know why I am like that, right? And I remember earlier in our marriage, it was like that because my husband, we had needs in the house, but I should not hear that somebody is in need. I'm already giving out, right? And I know that's one of the things that my husband had to walk through with me. In short, there was one that we, well, yeah, anyways, just to let you know that you're not alone in this. I understand what it feels like to live with a person from my husband's perspective that constantly want to give. And now it is one or two things. For me, it is just who I am, right? I don't like the people around me lacking. So even if it means me not having, I would rather give out, right? That is just something I have always done. It's who I've always been. If you ask people in Ghana, yeah, that's just who I've always been. Right now, for some other people, it's a show of class, right? Or a show of, so there's the compassion aspect. There's also you don't want people to know what is going on with you. You want people to see you more than you are, right? I don't know which of it is for your husband. And this is even particular mostly for those that live abroad, right? You want, people are saying, they are hailing you and you don't want to, you want to show them that you have. So you tend to give. So I don't know what it is for your partner. If it is, did it start after you moved abroad? If it started, it might be leaning on to the second. But if that's who he has always been, that's different, right? So now, how do we go ahead and deal with this? I remember for me and my husband, it's just communication, to be honest. Not just, I'll give you other practical steps, but the first thing is nagging, accusing, confronting is only going to make them hide. I know because I did it. I started to hide it from him. I will send it. But what I did not know at the time was my husband has my email on his phone. So when they send me notification, he sees the email. And there was a time I thought that I was being clever. I would delete the email. So immediately notification comes, I would delete it, hoping that he will not see it. Only for me to realize that if I delete it here, it does not mean that the notification is deleted on his phone. So he always sees. Sometimes random people will send me a message on Instagram, and I will send them money. And I won't tell him because I know that we need the money. So it's not because my husband will ask me not to give. It's because I know that there's certain things in our own family that we have not sorted out yet, but I just couldn't help myself, right? I will give. So, and he will see them. So at a point, he stopped, just like you. He stopped telling me that. He didn't tell me that he was seeing all the charity I've been doing. And eventually we had to have a conversation. I remember he told me, who is that person that he sends money to? I said, how did you know that I sent money? He said, you think, and then he told me he actually sees them. And for me, the fact that he saw them and he didn't see anything, it didn't feel nice. It didn't feel nice to me because I felt like I was hiding something from him, which was true, right? And I would not advise that you do that. I mean, we have to have that conversation about you cannot keep doing this, right? People will always have needs, but you cannot keep putting people ahead of you. You need to realize that we're a family. We also have needs. We can't be going into debt, right? So the first thing I would say is you have to have that sit down with him. I know you've had it before, but this time around, don't, and when you're having it, I'm not saying this is what you do, but when you're having that conversation, don't accuse him. Right, just let him know that I see that, because you cannot pretend. It's your life, it's your children's life, it's your future. So you can. This is not something that you just keep to yourself and say you don't want trouble. So you cannot keep quiet, right? So you have to have that conversation. Maybe have it when you guys are out on a date, or maybe on a cold day, and let him know. Don't Not on the day that he sends the money. No, let it be on a neutral day when he's in a good mood and everything. And don't go with confrontation. Just sit him down. The ways that I do it. After our family devotion, we have a time that we do our devotion. After we do that, then I would, approach him with that. So you can have that conversation with him and let him know that I understand, and always use like we, not you. Don't accuse him, okay? Use like we. I understand that, your family has needs and all of that, but we also have needs, right? I noticed that you've stopped telling me when you send money. And I get it. I understand that it's because you feel like I'm always going to be on your case, right? But I need you to understand where I'm also coming from. I don't mean to. And if I have been, critical, or if I've been critical about it in the past, I'm truly sorry. That is not my intention. What I'm looking for, or the reason why it seems like I'm being overly critical on this is because I'm trying to see what is best for our family. I'm not saying you shouldn't give to your family, but you need to, the way we are getting into debt and all of that at the detriment of our own home, right? So you know what you say to him. You know how to talk to him. He's your husband, to make him feel good. You know when to talk to him, but you cannot keep quiet and pretend you are going to get into debt, right? So you need to have that conversation with him and try to understand, why do you feel like you have to always meet their needs? If you're not alive today, God forbid, if anything happens to you, do you think they will starve? No. Do you think if for any reason you don't have money or you're not abroad and you cannot help, do you think that these people will not move on? Do you think they won't have other people that would, come to them? Why do you think they're constantly coming to you? Don't you think some of these people are taking advantage of you? And I know they do take advantage. They have taken advantage of, like I told you, I know you are lying. You can't lie to me. That's the thing. I know you're lying, but I'll just, so that's that, right? And for me also, right, there are a number of things that I had to now put in place to make sure that I curb that. I'm doing way better than I was. Yeah, I'm not where I need to be. Well, anyways, so yeah, you need to communicate and have that conversation. Nagging is not going to solve the problem. Now, the other thing that I would advise, right, which are some of the things that we started to do, you need to have a budget, right? Have a budget every month for what each person is responsible for, right? And inside that budget, you have to have a budget for gifts and family expenses. So we live abroad, our families are retired. That's me and my husband, right? Our families, my mom is retired, his mom is retired. Obviously, we will need to give more because our siblings that are in Nigeria, they don't earn as much as we do. They don't pay as much bills as we do either. But in the grand scheme of things, if I send £20 to Nigeria, that's 40,000 naira. Right? If I send £50, which is £20 is money for pizza, right? Or I send £50, which is money I will use to make, not make my hair, but £50 is money I will use to do anything, transportation, whatever here. If I send it there, that's 100,000 naira, right? So obviously we have to give more than our siblings that are, in Nigeria. But however, there is always a budget for that in our every month, right? So I know how much I send to my mom monthly, right? My husband knows how much he sends to his mom monthly. Now, we add that to the budget. When we are doing a family budget, we know rent, electricity, water, council tax, internet, whatever it is. And we know who is responsible feeding, right? We budget for all of that. And we know who is responsible for each thing. So you are responsible for this, this, this. I'm responsible for this and this, right? Once we have that, savings is also there, right? I'll talk about savings in the next point. But having a family budget helps you to know where your resources are being channeled into, and and always put in gifts. What are we giving out to people? How much family needs help? So apart from the money we budget to give to our parents, there might be times as siblings. So emergency fund, have a budget for gift when you guys discuss. I don't know how you guys do your finances and all of that, right? Have a budget for this is what we give out. If that doesn't work for you, if you're not a family that always, like my family, we talk about our finances to the T. We know what everything is for. Right? If a person that doesn't, that brings me to the next point. Then take out, after you know what you're paying monthly bills. I know what I'm paying monthly bills, right? At the end of the month, tell him every month, you are giving me £200 for our savings. I am also putting this amount of money for our savings, right? So you give me 200 out of your salary. This is what you'll be left with. Whatever you like, do with that. But also make sure that we are not encroaching into credit cards. Credit cards are for this, they are for that, right? I know sometimes they might not follow it and all of that, but these are just some of the ways that will help. Let him know that, okay, every month, why don't we budget this for gifts to give to our family, or maybe welfare fund, or whatever you guys want to call it, to give to families, to friends, and whoever needs help every month. Once this finishes, they have to wait till next month, right? We don't touch it. That is a way to discipline yourself. No matter the sub story, once that money finishes, you have to wait until month end. Nothing will happen if they don't, unless it's an emergency life and death situation. And that rarely happens, right? Unless that is the case, the person can wait to the month end when you get your salary and you fill that fund. Once you have that fund, you'll be able to, distribute money however you like from that fund, right? And also getting money from him, and make sure that you are the one in charge of savings, because I know what I'm talking about. I don't save money in our family. Not that I can't, but my husband has more discipline. And it's not like I will use money to buy anything. I will give it out. That's my problem. Like, that's a big issue for me. So when I'm investing or saving, it's either I'm saving on a locked account and nothing can touch that money, or most times it's my husband. He opens a savings account. I give everything to him, right? I don't handle savings. Don't cover me. Right? So yeah, so you also want to do that. So if you have, at least if it's giving you, let's say £200, whatever, for savings, it doesn't include your investments and whatever things that you guys might be doing. At least that will give you something that you can fall back on rainy days, right? When he's giving his, or he can even give you, something to use to pay his debt if he falls into it. But you also need to talk about financial discipline with him in a loving and kind way, right? About, have a conversation about credit cards, credit score. And, if you guys want to buy a house, your credit score is going down because you're borrowing a lot, just have that conversation with him. You cannot but communicate. Another thing I said here is set family goals, right? For a number of people, myself inclusive, I don't know how to just keep money. I know. Trust me, I'm working on myself. God is working on me. I don't know how to just keep money for nothing. I have to have a goal that I'm saving towards. If that is not the case, I will give the money out, because to me, there are other people that have better things to do with the money. This is who I used to be. It's not who I am in Jesus' name, okay? Yeah. I like to save towards something. So as a family, we have goals, right? Okay, we want to save towards a vacation that we want to take in January. And okay, every month I give £100 to this vacation that we want to take. I know that is what I'm saving towards, right? If we want to save towards buying a house, right? So every month I put £500. I know this is what we are saving towards. But we should just be saving money, should just be floating. That's a weakness for me. It's not a weakness for my husband. So for investment, for to buy shares, to do whatever. That is my husband's department. It is not my department, right? I know because of my own weakness. So in that case, have a go. He might be a person like me that does not know how to just keep money. He does not, like, if money is in my account, the first thing I'm thinking of is, what do I need to do? Who do I need to send money to? Like, that is how I view money. For me, I think we've said it earlier in our marriage, if you've been following this channel, that my husband sees money as something to keep. I see money as a tool, all right? What do I need to do? What do I need to give money? When I feel like, why is there plenty of money in my account? I start to overthink. And before I know what is happening, I've started distributing, right? So that's one thing you want to know. Is he a person that likes to have a goal? And if that is the reason, then set goals. Okay, in the next 2 months, why don't we save towards, going on a date or going on vacation? Why don't we say towards, changing the wardrobe of one of our kids? Why don't we save towards, give him a goal, right? And let us save towards it. Or want to buy a property in the next year. It doesn't have to be a monthly goal. In the next year, how can we take our money, save money towards that? How do we ensure that our credit score is in good standing before that time occurs? Or want to buy a car, or look for a family project that you guys can set as a goal for yourself, or you want to start investing, open a bank account for your children, right? You have to sell that idea to him. And you will do most of the groundwork, get the investment, whatever, get the account open, and, make sure that you are on him. Oh yeah, babe, you've not sent me money for this every month, right? So that would also help you to make sure that maybe having a goal in his mind would help him to, have more financial. I know it helps me. Anytime I know that we are saving towards this, or we are doing a job, right? I have to remit money every month. So you cannot ask me for money that I don't have, right? So yeah. So that's another way, another thing that you might suggest. And the next thing I'll say is, well, pray about it. I'm not even going to lie. Like, pray about it. Pray to God to help him to be more financially wise, to send away people that are always coming for, his money. There's nothing that, see, Yoruba will say, "Nǹkan tó tóbi fún àdúrà, nǹkan tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó náà, ó fẹ́ àdúrà." What is big needs prayer. What is small also needs prayer. There's nothing that prayer cannot do. So also pray about it, right? And then the last thing that I'll say about it is, if you've tried all of this and it does not work, this might be a battle that is big for you, right? You might need to get somebody involved, somebody that he respects, somebody that can talk some sense to him, that can help him to see the bigger picture. You might need to bring in a third party, like your pastor, if you respect your pastor, if you guys have one, a family friend or a friend of his or something, somebody, or maybe somebody that has been able to establish themselves in the country that you are, right? That will be able to help him to understand that. You cannot ask him not to give money to his family, so that you don't become the wife that after he marry, he has abandoned his family. You cannot ask him not to do that. But you just have to let him know that you have to have a fund for this. And once that exhausts, they have to wait till the end of the month. Unless it's a life and death situation. Nothing and nobody should make you go into debt. Nobody's problem should make you enter into problem. Why? Right? So you have to talk to him lovingly with grace. Pray before you talk to him. This always helps. This always works. Pray before you talk to him. There's a way that prayer helps you to settle the mind of the person that you want to talk to. And when you talk to him, pray after. Hold hands together and pray together, right? And then you have to be transparent. There's nothing that you are hiding money. You have to let him know. I will try as much as possible not to be confrontational or whatever. But please, before you send any money out, I want there to be transparency in our finances. We cannot grow without transparency. I need you to let me know, and you also, you do the same to him, right? So yeah, that's as much as I can think of. But guys, if you have any advice, please, I know she will be in the comment section waiting to hear from you guys. So please, please, please make some comments so that she can learn from you guys, okay? This one I can't answer just yet. This one I think will be in the next video, just because. Let me answer this other one first. I thought I took a screenshot just now. Yeah, she said, "Good morning, Ma. Thank you for being a blessing to me and this generation. Thank you. My question is this. It is often said that you marry someone who pushes you to be the best version of yourself. As a lady, how do you do this for a man who is already a 10? What else can I bring to the table? Is there anything a lady can do for a man who is already the best version of himself?" Okay, what do you give to a person? Guys, leave your answers in the comment section, right? What do you give to a man who is already a 10? My question will be, a 10 according to who? Is it a 10 according to what he wants to be, Is it telling you that at this stage of, because I don't think that anybody gets to that point where they feel like, I don't need anything anymore. Even the richest man in the world, trust me, is still looking for investment portfolio, not just for him, but to set a legacy for his family. So when you're talking about a man who is already a 10 and you are thinking that I don't have anything to bring to the table, I think that mindset, we need to drop it. Okay, you have a lot that you can offer him. Don't ever don't ever get into a marriage where there's nothing you're contributing to the life of this person. Why? Then it means that you're not in your level and his level is high. You are not the one that's supposed to marry. I don't know if you guys understand. You are not, it is not your level that he's supposed to marry. He's supposed to marry someone with a higher intellectual level than you. And this is not an insult. The reason I'm saying this is men love women that, well, most men love women that challenges them intellectually, that pushes them to be the best version of themselves. Whether you think you have everything now, how about in the future? Are you the best version of your future self? What about the legacy you leave for your children? There is no human being that feels like I've gotten to the equilibrium. Then what are you doing on it, right? So what I'm trying to say is that as a woman, don't settle because a man. And so I said, first of all, a 10 according to who? Is he according to your standard, right? Because every man has a standard. He's rich, he has a car, he has a house, he has money, he takes care of me, he loves me, blah, blah, blah. Is he a 10 according to you? Or is he a 10 according to what his goal is? So the first thing you need to understand, and I always say this before you get married, ask him, what do you aspire to be? You might think he's a 10. To him, he's not even started. It might still be in ground zero in his own mind, or maybe average or whatever. Ask him, what do you want to achieve? You cannot help a person, if you don't know what they want. You cannot direct a person that you don't know where they are going. Do you understand what I'm saying? So before you start to think, what am I bringing to the table? You need to understand that what do you have? The Bible made Eve, God made Eve as a helpmeet to Adam. So for me to be able to help you, there's something that you're doing, right? There's somewhere that you're going. So the first thing you need to have a conversation with him is, what do you want to do? What is your goal? What is your future goal? What are the things that, you want to achieve? And when he tells you that, then you evaluate yourself. Do you have what it takes today, or will you have what it takes in the future to be the partner for him, to be able to help him to achieve those things, right? So the crux of this is, there is no man that is a 10. There is no woman that is a 10. We are all aspiring to be better and to be the best version of ourselves. He might be a 10 financially. Is he a 10 when it comes to his spiritual life? He might be a 10 when it comes to how he shows you love. Is he a 10 on how he shows other people love? So when you talk about a 10, what do you mean by a 10? I think that's where the issue is for me. But I don't think there's anybody that is a 10 on all aspects of his life, right? There's always something that person wants to aspire to. But for you to be able to know how you will help him, you need to understand, where is he going? What is his aspiration? What are his desires? What are the things that keep him up? What are the things that, motivate him to want to do better? You need to do that. The last thing you want to do as a woman is to be with a man that doesn't need you. God saw that Adam needed a helper. God gave him a helper. There's no reason why you should be with a man that does not need you, that sees you as unneeded. You are just there to be what? Furniture, to be decoration. No, right? And one thing I also want to say is, for women that end up with men that are successful in their career, in their business, whatever, right? Don't assume that because he has everything, there's nothing I can give him, right? Don't assume that. Give him what you would as if he had nothing. I don't know if that makes sense. If he has money, or then you don't buy him gifts because you feel like he has all the money. There's nothing you will give it to him that will be that would be surprising or whatever. Look at him as if he doesn't have. Go on dates. Go on. Build your relationship as though the man is not what you think he is, right? Or who you believe he is, right? So that's what I think I would say about that. There's, no matter how a 10 is, there's somewhere lacking. And if you still think the man is a 10 on all aspects, then you don't know him. Because even the best of humans, we all have our flaws. So I would question that mindset of he's already a 10. Because is he really? Is any human really? Right. So there's definitely a part of his life that I believe you can contribute to. And you need to find that out before you commit to marrying him. Right? Yeah, I think that's where we end today's video. I think the last video was talking about, let me see if I can say something about it. Because she said, hello, Ma, good afternoon. I just need someone to talk to. I have been in and out of relationships, and each time I keep meeting with guys who want sex before marriage. And I'm going to be 30 in a few months. The journey has been tiring, and my mom even thinks that I am too hard. Sorry, this topic is another day's topic. It's not today's topic. I will deal with it in another video. Maybe in the next video. Yeah, most likely in the next video. Right. So I don't want this video to be too long. Guys, let me know in the two questions we answered today. What do you think? What would be your advice to this person? I'm sure they would be grateful to refer, especially you people that have been older in marriage, or even you singles, you might have more opinions, right? Yeah. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Until we meet again, I still remain Victoria Fash. Please remember to like this video, to leave a comment, to subscribe to this channel. Okay? Thank you guys so very much. I love you guys. All right. Bye. Bye, guys.